today we can look at negative indices or negative index, but because we are dealing with many powers, so we have to say negative indices. And here we can say consider the expression which is given here, a power 3 divided by a power 5. So using the laws of indices, it leads us to this. When we simplify it, that is a to power 3 minus 5. 3 is a power on the numerator and then 5 is the power on the denominator, and giving our answer as the a to power negative 2. So we can also say that we know that from our lower mathematics, we know that a power 3 divided by a power 5. Okay, we can write it in this format here. Okay, that is a times a times a on the numerator divided by a times a times a times a times a 5 times on the as a denominator. And then after that we can be able to simplify by cancelling. Some a's on the denominator cancels with the a's which are on the what, on the denominator, like there you can be able to see here. Okay, so when they cancel, you find all the a's on the numerator are gone, so there we remain there with 1, and then on the denominator we remain with 2 a's, thereby it becomes a squared. So the answer here which we get, it is 1 divided by a what, squared. So implying that this is an answer to this expression, and as well as also this one was an answer to this expression. So implying that these two answers, they are what? They are equal. That's why here we are saying that a power negative 2 is the same as 1 divided by a to power positive what? 2. So in general, now this leads us to a law here of indices, that in case we have a powered to negative n, then it can also be the same as 1 divided by a to power n, which is positive. So here it is showing us how we can make a power which was negative to become what? Positive. So implying that a power negative 1, a power negative n is the same as, just take a reciprocal and the power will become what? Positive. And also here the same, it will lead us to the same thing here, a divided by b, all of them raised to power negative n. If we are to make that power to become positive, we have to take a reciprocal. B remains, or it becomes the numerator, and then a becomes the denominator, and the answer here which we get, it is b divided by a to power positive what? N. So this is showing us how we can change negative indices to positive. We just take a reciprocal, like there you see this. So these expressions are very, very important in indices. So after that, let us look at some examples here. We are saying simplify. So simplify the following. We have here n, and when you look at it is 2 to power negative 3 times 2 to power negative 2. We apply the laws of indices here, and we get the answer here, which is a to power negative what? 5. There, during the multiplication of indices, we add the powers, so the answer is a to power negative 5. Negative 3 plus negative what? 2. You apply here the same rule, so that you get the answer here, and the answer is 3 to power negative 7. Still also you add the powers, which is negative 2 plus negative 5, and you get power 3 to power negative what? 7 here. Okay, then when you come to the third, which is C, during division we subtract the powers. So when you simplify that, you get the answer as a to power negative 2. And then D, still also during division you subtract the powers, and the answer here is a to power positive 9. Lastly E, yes, these two powers on A, they are separated by bracket, therefore we multiply them, and on multiplication we get a to power negative 6. Okay, so mostly our point of interest are the powers. Okay, these are indices like that. So we can be able to look at another can look at another exercise part here. Okay, can look at this one here, and here we have that express the following with positive indices. Okay, so here we have 5 to power negative 3, and if we are to make it positive, the power to become positive on 5, just take a reciprocal, so that the answer is 1 divided by 5 to power 3. We have here B, a to power negative 4, a to power negative 4. The answer is 1 divided by a to power positive 4. Okay, our point of interest here is to express them with positive indices. We are the powers or the indices are negative, but we are changing them to positive. Here, C, when you come to C, it is 3a, both of them raised to power negative 2. So also here, take a reciprocal of 3a. The answer will become 1 divided by 3a and raised to power positive 2. That is C. Then D, 2a to power 5. I mean 2a to power negative 5. Now this power in this case, it is only affecting a. That's why here it will be like this. Separate 2 from a, like that. Then now take the reciprocal of a to power negative 5. The power becomes positive 5. And the answer which you will get here, it is 2 divided by a to power 5. Okay, so when you check at D is slightly different from C, because 2 here in D, it is not affected by the power, but when you go to C, 3 is also affected by the power and A. So compare that and you see how we have worked out both of them. They give different answers. Then E still, take a reciprocal of this, of 3a divided by 4. So when you take a reciprocal, 4 becomes the numerator and 3a becomes the denominator, and the power becomes positive. The power was negative, but now it becomes what? Positive. Then lastly F, it is 1 divided by u to power negative 2. So here still take a reciprocal. Take a reciprocal of this. The denominator becomes the numerator and the numerator becomes the denominator. So it leads u to power positive 2. That's when you take a reciprocal of 1 divided by u to power 1 divided by u to power negative 2. You get u to power positive what? 2 as the answer. So this is how we can work out the indices which are negative, and they want us to make them what? Positive. So the exercise questions, they will be in the next